New Year's Day, Luis Ortiz took on Charles Martin. Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, of course, I watched. And now it was good fight, exciting fight, and it was also very good undercard. And I watched all the fight. It was good event, and I'm happy that now I was waiting for the winner, and we have winner now. And I hope so that in next few days Ortiz will accept the offer from IBF, and that I can start, my preparation, and that we can have fight at maybe March or April.
What did you see in that fight? I mean, as a fan, I watched the fight, and like you say, it was entertaining. Charles Martin, if I'm being honest, did better than I thought he would. He, put Luis Ortiz down a couple of times. He looked quite good in there. Does that give you extra belief, if you like, for someone like Luis Ortiz, that if he's going down in that fight, you can do the same to him?
Yeah, I'm definitely confident that I can beat Luis Ortiz. I respect him. He had great career, and he's a good fighter, but now it's time for retirement, and I'm ready to send him into retirement. Well deserved retirement, and I'm really confident I can beat him in great fashion.
Those are the words of Filip Hrgovic, as he says that he is looking forward to putting Luis Ortiz into a well-deserved retirement. Let me counterpunch. I think this was destined to happen to Luis Ortiz. I looked at Luis Ortiz's career. I looked at the fights that he was getting, what Al Heyman was throwing him, Jay Jimenez, his management company, what they were, these fights they were booking for him, they were shit fights. Travis Kaufman, shit fight. Christian Hammer, not as shitty a fight, but shit fight. Alexander Flores, shit fight. These type of fights that he had, they were just a waste of time. Okay? And that's what happens when you bullshit yourself through your career, knowing that you don't have long to perform at a certain level. You can be around. A lot of fighters lingered around, but they weren't worth a shit anymore. Like Sugar Shane. A lot of fighters were like that. Sugar Shane comes to mind. Hasim Rahman had the same situation when he was still just there, and it's like, it's a difference between fighting on an elite level for a check or fighting on an elite level for legacy. You need time. You need these fights. See, now everyone's coming for Ortiz. Ortiz was dropped twice. Now people are thinking to themselves, you know what? I can be the next person to do exactly what Charles Martin did. He's not invincible. He's getting older. You can see his knees kind of, he was having problems moving in there. You didn't see one time Luis Ortiz bouncing around that ring like he tries to do that little southpaw version of the Ali shuffle, what he tries to do to show him, like, hey, my legs are fresh and young, but they're not so young. You didn't see any of that. Right? So he definitely looks old. And I think that's Filip Hrgovic's way of saying Luis Ortiz looked old. He had a great run, or like he said, a great run. I think it was decent. But it's time for him to go. And I'm going to send him there. Well, the realistic thing about this is it could happen because the IBF eliminator was on the 1st of January, was between Charles Martin and Luis King Kong Ortiz. Okay. And now it is time to negotiate with Filip Hrgovic. So this is a crossroad fight. It's a fight that shows and gives Hrgovic an opportunity to show how good he is. To get a name like Luis Ortiz on your record, you know, it's only one other guy that has that name, and that's Deontay Wilder. So if he can beat Luis Ortiz, he won't get as much credit, but he would get credit, you know, because your record does speak for itself. And if he can retire Luis Ortiz, that's already a milestone. Manny Pacquiao will always be remembered for things that he done that we didn't think he was going to do. He retired Oscar De La Hoya. Okay, so when you put someone in retirement, Joshua retired Klitschko. Those type of things people remember. They remember those things. That last fight you had and it was too much to bear, they are remembered. And if Filip Hrgovic can do that, he will be remembered for doing that. Now, it wasn't be as much as the guys that I mentioned before, Pacquiao and AJ, but it's something. But most importantly, it's a bigger fight than the fight with Michael Hunter. So go figure. So he's in a better position. Again, he's in a better position than Hunter is now. So that just shows you when people make the right decisions, you know, or when certain people make the wrong decisions. Right? But him sending Ortiz into retirement, that's a great possibility. Ortiz looked old. I don't know, you know, he's telling us he's looking his age. Whatever age Luis Ortiz is, okay, I'm not going to go into all that. He looked that age. He looked like he was somebody in the 40s, you know. And if it wasn't for that overhand left, that fight would have went probably a totally different way, because Charles would have continued doing the same things that he would have been doing, and he was winning that fight. Okay, so, you know, but it just shows you what makes it more just as exciting, that Luis Ortiz has a puncher's chance. Okay, so a lot of times if he is getting beat up by Hrgovic and he does land something like he landed on Charles Martin, how will Hrgovic react? Can he get Hrgovic out of there with that one punch that makes him stand up in his tracks, stop in his tracks, you know, and forget where he was at altogether? That was actually kind of scary, but it does show excitement to Luis Ortiz. And it does give him value of danger, okay? And I look at these two fighters, Filip Hrgovic and Luis Ortiz. They are now two avoided fighters, but one is older and one is younger. So it's kind of like the alpha and omega, okay? And I like to see these guys get it on because they were avoided, and I think that would be a good fight. I think Hrgovic is very, very busy, and I'm wondering how Luis Ortiz will deal with that type of pressure. But I would like to see the fight. I think now they're starting to let Luis Ortiz out of the bag, and they should. I hope the negotiations work out fine. You guys tell me what you think about Filip Hrgovic, ready, confident to put Luis Ortiz into retirement. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.